David, I know that we're coming up on a special date for Azure Standard. December will be 30 years since you started Azure, and before that the family farm. It's a very special time.
Well, obviously we've been farming organically for many years before that, but that's when we actually started using the name Azure and started selling under that name, Azure Standard, which really did. The whole idea of the name was to create that purist mindset. Hey, there is no chemicals on this. This is the standard. This is setting a standard for clean food, for really clean and healthy food. The standard, and I believe we've been instrumental in doing that. I think it's been a big part. It's been a long journey. 30 years ago, organic wasn't found in every supermarket.
It's true.
It was fringe, if you will. But now, 30 years later, when I'm looking at it, really in a lot of ways, what we were striving for has happened. As I look back on the past 30 years, create a standard for organic agriculture, create a standard for better quality food, for nutrient-dense food. Those all haven't been created, but the organic label is definitely mainstream. It's been an amazing journey.
Yeah. There's a recognition of what the idea of organic is now, I think.
Well, the whole idea, different parts of the world is different. I had a friend that just was in The Hague over there, and he said he couldn't find any place that sold anything but organic.
Right. I think they call it biodynamic in Holland.
Not biodynamic, biologic.
Biologique. That's
biologique.
It. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So it's either organic or biologique over there, and everything was. I think obviously they're a couple decades ahead of the United States in that sense, but it's kind of, I think that's where it's going. It's and looking back over the course of the last 30 years, that's quite apparent.
It's amazing.
So
so many years ago, when I shortly after I just started, you had this recipe for these amazing carob bars, I think it was. So it's a lovely summer evening here at Azure Farm, and David and I thought we'd just chat a little bit and share with you some of the things we're doing at Azure. Now, I know that recently there's been a lot of news about Azure Farm, the issue of weed management over there, and so we don't like to dwell on the negative side of things, but we thought we'd just talk for a little while about the outcome of that. So David, we posted a video there on our Vimeo channel and shared it with a few of our customers, and I believe the last count, Sherman County had about 57,000 emails in support of us. And I know you'd said the last you'd heard that the most they'd had for any other issue was about 5 emails, so it's
something like
kind of closed them down, So tell us where we are today, 25th of May 2017. Where are we at with the county and with the weed management?
Well, not too much new has happened in the last week. We're working very hard at putting a program in place that's really going to work. We've been managing weeds to some level at that farm for many years, but we want to share that with the county, with the neighbors, maybe with all of you. I don't know. We're going to try to make that so it's obvious, and there's a lot of really good ideas that can be had through organic farming. Organic farming, it's a whole different thing. Conventional farmer, they just go out and it's all figured out for them, and you just spray this stuff. That stuff is what poisons our bodies, destroys our health as a people and as a nation, and we don't even want to think in those terms. But there are weeds, and I guess maybe that was part of the curse given to Adam, that from the very beginning. And there are things that we do and we need to do. And obviously, with an organic farmer, cultivation is the first line of defense. Well, some of those weeds, the rhizome ones, cultivation, it has to be done a lot more aggressively, a lot deeper, a lot more intense than it would be for normal weeds. Normal weeds, we always have a certain amount of weeds, and you're always going to be hoeing or cultivating and so on. But that requires a little deeper dive, deeper commitment, if you will, to really taking care of them.